Computer. Hello and welcome to the DAOs Love Cardano after town hall breakout room. My name is Newman Lanier. You are joined with the other challenge team hosts, Harsha, and did I see Gustavo?
Hello.
Welcome. We are about to jump into presenting proposals in this community centered around DAOs and DAO tooling. We're an informal group. Feel free to speak as you like, but we are being recorded, so you may run into your future self, or your future self may run into your past self on YouTube, which can be sometimes a little unsettling. That being said, Harsha or Gustavo, do you have any other announcements to make?
Just wanted to let everyone know that it's better to keep your presentation between 5 to 6 minutes, and then we'll have a question and answer session for another 5 to 6 minutes after each proposal. Just for time's sake, it's better to keep it crisp.
Excellent, very good point.
Yeah, and nothing else from my side.
Okay, I will share a Google document for today, 7/13, in the chat, and that might be a good spot. Hey, Robert, that might be a good spot to write down questions or put down your links and whatnot. So that's in the chat right now. Okay. Who would like to go first? Is open source DAO framework? I didn't get your name.
It's Jonathan.
Oh, that's you, Jonathan?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Day Delan is the.
You're really breaking up, so I can't hear you very well.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Sounds fine from here.
Okay.
Yeah, sounds fine to me as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the proposer's name on idea scale is Day Delan.
Yeah.
No? But you're welcome to go, Jonathan. Sure enough.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Want to maybe get a couple minutes for Day? I don't know if I see him.
Yeah. They came in and dropped in their proposal, but we'll check them out. We'll loop back to them. Jonathan, if you have a link, go ahead and share it in the chat, and then we'll let you have the floor.
Okay. Well, not 100% prepared here. I don't have a link specifically, but yeah, I just have my PowerPoint. I could potentially post it afterwards, and yeah, upload it and to a more shareable format.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah, that's
Go for it. Yeah, let's do it.
I'm not sure if he has the permission, but he can check. Yeah.
Try it. Yeah.
If he wants, like, he can share the proposal and then you could share the screen.
Oh, yeah, there you go. No, it's working.
Okay.
And Jonathan, don't be frightened. Take a deep breath. There's a lot of like friendly people here, and they're like a super amount of talent and expertise. You know,
right.
So take your time.
Gotcha.
I'll set a timer for 5 minutes, and I'll try to remind you when you get up close to that. Is that cool?
Yeah, sure.
Sweet.
Really happy to connect with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me. So basically, I'm building out an abstracted DAO governance platform with some co-founders and such. And the first implementation of it is going to be a science publishing DAO, but effectively it's going to be competitive with Moloch DAO and those kind of spaces where you can basically tune hyperparameters to affect the governance types, systems, and types that a DAO would be interested in. But like I said, science publishing DAO is kind of the more to give a little bit more context for how such a system might work, and it would also be the first system that we'd be interested in building. So this is some context regarding the actual scientific ecosystem, but effectively, like most publishing situations, the basically third third-party marketing companies are basically managing the entire reputation ecosystem for academics. And this is problematic because these publishers have taken on the ad and hype models of basically, internet news for truth economy that science is attempts to continue to build upon. This is devastating. So the idea is this has led to a replication crisis and affordability crisis within the scientific community. And the idea is how can we, and you can see in the blue areas, they basically own the peer review process, and they also own the scientific knowledge repository. And the question is, scientists continue to use these publishers, even though they're pretty aware of this situation, because the scientific ecosystem runs on reputation, and that is currently what the publishers help manage or manipulate. So how do we replace that? So this is just an example of the replication crisis. We don't need to get too much into that, but we can just jump into the system. So the basis
Jonathan, go ahead. I just wanted to make sure, because maybe that we're sharing the screen a little different. Right now we can just see the references.
Oh, whoops. You've been looking at something totally different than me. All right. That is funny.
It's
right.
I love this idea. Well, I'll let you get it back together, and I'll vamp for a second, because I love the idea of I think this is a real issue or problem, especially sort of when scientific publishers have to play like the media game. And you said it very well. So yeah, please try to let's see if we can get you back up on there.
There you go. Can you see it now?
I think now we're doing it. Yeah.
All right, cool. So this is basically the slide I was going through, where basically the the publishers own the peer review process and also the science knowledge repository. And the idea is there has been a movement for a long time trying to make things more open access to varying degrees of success. But the idea is, how can we also replace the reputation infrastructure so it's much more self-managed by the professional societies, in which those are the main people that are editing and reviewing anyways, and that's where most scientists care about the reputation anyway. So how can a naturally decentralized process create the reputation infrastructure so that a decentralized organization like a professional society where they're interested in discovery can self-manage the reputation, so it is much less likely to get corrupted in the long term. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna skip a few of those slides because this is a short presentation. But the basic bit is we have a form, which is going to be a weighted DAG. I guess we don't, this diagram might be a little confusing, but the idea is you can, with review structures, you can upvote and downvote on a granular scale of how much reputation you want to stake in the ideas that you are using to create your own idea, but also you also have a stake reputation in the ideas that you present. So so when you kind of make posts, there are a few different ways of validation. You have citing people, you have peer reviewing, and you have replication studies. And you can kind of like different weights of how you can use reputation tokens to weight those in a way that it is more likely for us to find truth in the long run. But also, when you mint something, you are giving a certain amount of your reputation to your works cited, and that basically kind of flows through the entire system. So, say 30% of your reputation goes to works cited, then, every paper that gets some of that reputation allocation also transfers 30% all the way down the ecosystem, all the way down the graph, through the graph. And then I guess the idea is using a reputation NFT that is hyperinflationary, non-tradable, hyperinflationary. So it's kind of the negative side of the quadratic. So it's still using similar principles, but it's has actually more area that it covers. So it's actually a little bit, provides more area to kind of like attack. or like in terms of to manage. So in terms of, it's also non-tradable, because like if you're going to have create a reputation in the physics community, you shouldn't be able to trade it for chemistry or the humanities or, you know, being a Jedi. So I'm gonna skip through some of these.
Yeah, thank you for making it brief, because it really, you may want to you know, get a little Q&A in here, because this is definitely incredible, very technical and beautiful.
Cool. Yeah, I guess just maybe like 20 more seconds, and I can probably at least cover the last bit, because I just mentioned the forum, and then you have the validation pool, which is basically the idea that no single voting system is going to consistently be able to elicit the will of the crowd, as well as its experts, as, you know, Cardano messing with Swarm and kind of, you know, more better known assessors and such. But the idea is, you know, you have 4 different kind of voting topologies that you can kind of move fluidly between, as well as kind of being able to, like what Cardano has done, you can kind of like have put different voting topologies in series, for example, to basically create novel voting situations. So the idea is all this can be built out using smart contracts, and depending on how you tune the pipe of parameters, you can basically have seasonal governance. So that's pretty much what we've been exploring with our project.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Jonathan. While some questions, and if you do let's use the let's use the hand raising. Chakan, I think you're good in there. Let's if you've got a question, go for it.
Hey, I do have one question. You said you would be making the NFTs non-transferable. Have you looked into how that is possible within the Cardano framework? Because I took a little bit of a look. I love this idea of soul-bound NFTs. Vitalik wrote about this a few months ago. But from what I know, and I know very little, I bet most of you here know a lot more about this than I do, the transfer logic is you can't modify it at the moment. So how would you go about making NFTs non-transferable?
I guess the idea is you have this reputation that is directly related to the work, right? So when you publish a paper, for example, it's basically a block NFT, a block with, like, you know, the hash to the paper, the code, and like the data. And then you basically kind of create an NFT from that. So it's a minted NFT with specific tags to specific communities that it would sit in. So it would be very hard to say, like, well, I earned all this reputation from this paper, because a person's reputation is going to be based off of these knowledge assets. So it's going to be very hard to transfer post like all of a sudden, like, you can't decide that your physics paper that has accumulated reputation in those communities, and with that NFT basically type that you can start to accumulate reputation. You can't transfer it to like a humanities system, like reputation system.
Excellent.
So technically, they would be
did I answer your
transferable.
question?
Technically, they would be transferable, but there wouldn't be a social reason to transfer them.
Right.
Is
right.
what it. Yeah. Thank you.
Right.
All right, Gustavo.
Hi, I just want to comment, and I don't know, like, if you had this slides with the reference, but I don't know if you have read the works of Bruno Latour and Pierre Bourdieu. Like, they have a very interesting work on that. Like, it's more on the scientific side, sociology of science side. But so I would like to give this suggestion to you, in case that you haven't met this readings yet, that like these authors, and to say that I really liked your idea in your project, because it shows some kind of it's something really innovative in the field of the academics, and this whole scientific field that is really traditional. And I like the fact that you are bringing this kind of different mindset and trying to democratize, to make them appear more democratic, the participation in the science research. So it was just that.
Sure. I'm not sure if I caught the names. If you wouldn't mind posting the names, I would. Yeah. Any
Yeah, I will write them
information
down.
would
It's
be
like
would be
there are
great.
two sociologists of science.
Yeah.
They it's fair to say that they are the most famous and well recognized sociologists of science. So like kind of everyone in sociology of science use this word, and it's really
Sure.
interesting because it has a lot of connections with the problems that you're not there. They're solving the problem, but they are pointing out to the problem. So might give you some important insights on that.
Yeah, no, for sure. I actually, love reading the works of sociologists, especially in a tech space, because they definitely reveal some blind spots that, people in STEM miss. So.
Excellent, Jonathan. Thank you so much for presenting, and please hang around while we give the next one. Is someone gearing up and ready to present? Oh, I figured somebody would be jumping at the chance. No,
I do not have a presentation, but I would love to talk about what we have planned with the Little Fish Foundation, if that's okay.
Excellent. I'm for it.
Right.
Let's see, how do I Jonathan, if you can stop sharing the screen, or I imagine I could probably do that as well.
No, I will hijack this. Sorry, I
There you
totally
go.
forgot
No
that
worries.
was
No worries, no worries. Hey, we really appreciate you. Thank you. And that's I love that sort of area. I think that could be, I mean, we're all sort of looking around for the killer feature, the killer app for DAO communities, and that type of tooling could be the thing, and it really could solve a very, very important issue. And wouldn't that be great if it was the scientists?
Yeah, I guess the idea is that was just the first application. It is actually meant to be something for the entire DAO community. It is just, that is the first kind of application to make it a little bit more groundable for an audience, but it's also a personal topic that I'm interested in. So
nice. Well, I'm looking forward to hanging out with you more. Please hang around and continue to sort of work in the community with us. Yeah, right on.
Yeah, thanks.
Chakahan.
Great. I'm just about putting the links in to the chat. So we have 3 proposals from the Little Fish Foundation in DAOs Love Cardano. I'd like to start off with the first one. It's called Tools of Decentralized or DAO Work. I don't know if you had this problem, but I've been feeling it, and pretty much everyone that I meet in this context is feeling this to some degree. Is how do we work in this space? Like it's brand new. We're used to office. Maybe we got used to remote work a little bit and during COVID, but it's not quite clear how we're supposed to collaborate, how we can do it effectively. Like I think we're all working in many different communities all the time. So we're all interested in work in different areas. So maybe 3 to 4, 5 different communities you're working with. How do you keep track of those? How do you work effectively within those? Like those are questions that are in our minds at the Little Fish Foundation. So the first proposal, Tools of DAO Work, is pretty much all about that. But what tools are out there that enable that type of work? And that involves some tools that are on-chain. So wallets would be one of those. Like we get paid from Catalyst, we get funded, we send this money to get services. That's great. But like, which wallet should we use to enable that? Like, is that the same for everyone? I'm a developer. I can take care of. I'm okay with technicalities, but most people aren't. Like, have you seen the UI of Eternal? It's horrible. It's just terrible. But Nami is okay, but it kind of closes down every time I click on the button. So the UI kind of sucks. You know, like those kind of details, like, and there are like 10, 15 different wallets. Like, which one do I use? So what we need is like, we need a group of people who are going to go out, test these out, learn about them, and not just about wallets, but about like scheduling tools. You guys realize how much of a nightmare scheduling is? It's terrible. Like, I got it covered for one-to-one meetings. I would love it if you have any tools that you use for multiple person scheduling tools. Like, so that's the type of information that we want to generate as part of tools of DAO work, and quite a bit more, but I want to skip on to the second and third one. So another problem that we feel very deeply at the Livefish Foundation is just visibility to who the members of the community are, what they want to do, how they want to do it. Like, that information only comes out over so many different Zoom meetings over 3, 4, 5, 6 months, or maybe even a year. You find out this person that you've been talking to for years now, like, just awesome at economics. They just love economic concepts that you could have talked to us about them, but you just didn't know because it didn't come up in conversation. So we need a way of like communicating who we are, each of us, to each other. And we found this great Japanese concept called ikigai. What it means is, it means a reason for being. And so ikigai, a very simplified model of it that the Japanese would probably be very mad at us for using, is just 4 Venn diagram model that maybe I can share and show it off for just a very quick moment. Sorry.
And this combines the aspects of what you're good at, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, and what you love.
Exactly. So what we have is we work on the Miro board, and this is part of our Miro board. What we have, just like Randall said, what we love, what we're good at, what we can be paid for, and what the world needs. So we're experimenting with this idea on Miro, using our own different working groups and the tasks that we have. And what we want to do is turn this into a software that pretty much the entire Catalyst community and even any type of DAO can use, or even any group can use to coordinate their efforts. And we can use this in so many different ways. I don't want to get into the details, but if you're interested, we're going to be talking about this quite often at the Littlefish Foundation. I'll drop some links. So how we're going to use this, we want to turn this into a software that's Littlefish Ikigai and community. And finally, we have our final proposal, which is redefining earning. And this is a year-long proposal that that takes us from right now to September 2023, and this is what we're going to be doing is, first, we're going to be learning some token engineering principles, because those are extremely important in this space. Without it, you get stuff like Luna and $50 billion disappear and people take their own lives. So what we're doing is we're building this brand new earning solution, which we call the actions. And we have a very, conceptually, we've developed it quite well in the past few months. And what we want to do is engineer it really well. And this is what it's all about. First, we go into, first we learn token engineering principles together as a community. So if you're interested in any of that, please also follow the links and join. We're going to learn, then we're going to create a team of economists, game theory, if you're interested in game theory, that's applicable, like computer science, modeling, that type of knowledge is applicable, psychology, that's applicable. Token engineering is a very, very great cross-disciplinary field that is just, if you're interested in any of these things, it would be a great fit in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this learning course from the token engineering commons, and then we're going to apply it to Littlefish and the things we're building with actions and reward sharing. And that's it for us. Yeah.
Bravo, bravo. Thank you, Chakan.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I would love to entertain some questions about that. You know, I'm a big fan of Little Fish Foundation. I think that the sort of approach that you're doing, you know, what you're doing and how you're doing it, sort of walking the walk, talking the talk, walk and talk thing is, you got it down. Is there any question about that, about these three proposals from the group? Because I think that each of them does make a big difference, and they all work together. Like, you know, the tools is very concrete. We need to figure out wallets, and we need to figure out scheduling tools, and we need to figure out Zoom, and, you know, like all these little things that we need to reskill in quickly. Same with the Ikigai. I think that your example of, and I'm just vamping for some questions, so anybody coming up with some questions. The idea of the Ikigai and that example of, you know, working with someone for months and then not knowing that they've got this, you know, really something to offer, and just because it didn't come up. So getting, cutting through that noise to get to the signal is a really, really good thing. And then when we do Ikigai for the colony, then I think really magical things can happen. Yeah. And then redefining earnings, like the tokenomics of as an interdisciplinary endeavor, because it just takes so many diverse experience. So those are wonderful. Those are wonderful. And with that summary, and if there's someone else ready to jump in.
I don't have a presentation, but I can share a little bit about my idea and share the link.
Thank you, Joey.
Yeah, actually, my name is not Joey. I messed up and used the wrong link and didn't sign up with my name. So now I'm on one of my partners.
I'm sorry. Now you're Joey. From now on, it's just how it works now. No. What's your name? I get it. That's one of the problems that maybe the Little Fish tools can work. I mean, somebody was on here and there were like 4 Mohammeds. It was Zuha, and it's like Zuha's down there. Yeah. They're laughing. They know. They did it. Oh my goodness.
I was a Mohammed for like a couple of hours. It was really guy. I mean, what?
So
and
yeah.
Mohammed right there.
There's with a real Mohammed. Please stand up. Okay. So what is your name?
My name is Tegan Penlock, and I'm with a group called Indico. We're building a knowledge management solution, and I actually think that working with the guys who just spoke on their proposal, I would love to see if there's a way we could collaborate on some of what we've been working on. And I think that you guys have a really good focus on the right aspects there, and we've been doing a ton of research into game theory and aspects of that. So we're all students from the University of Wyoming. We're a part of the blockchain program here. So it's one of the only programs in the university where you can get an actual degree in blockchain. So I'm pursuing a minor in blockchain technology. So are all of my co-founders. And what we're building is something for businesses to know what their stakeholders know, have a searchable index that's shared across the community. And we started with Cardano because we see the sustainability issues in some other blockchains. And we see that Cardano could really fix that. And we see that they already have a focus on collaboration and they want to seek more collaboration. So what we're building is a platform for users to find answers and provide solutions, which will allow businesses to monetize existing knowledge, utilize excess capacity, and create a searchable and expansive index of knowledge, while also allowing people in any community across any place, where no matter where you are geolocated, you can monetize your knowledge or your skill sets and create an on-chain resume and expand your knowledge or organizational role, and learn new skills and meet new people and find ways of collaborating and create existing relationships that can last on a single platform. And all at the same time be building some credentials around what other people can see on chain in the metadata of every transaction that's made on our platform. It's also completely peer-to-peer, and we have a focus on DAO transition. So at launch, there'll be an ability to sign up as a DAO member, and then you're facilitated in the governance model and aspects like that. And I would love for anybody to ask some questions. And that's basically what we're building.
That was a powerful. Yeah, please do. That was a powerful minute and a half. That was great. That was great. T, your first name again? Oh, Tegan? I think his name is Tegan. Tigo?
That's what I heard. Tegan.
Tegan.
You can change your name. You can rename yourself, I think, if you want.
And Indigo knowledge management solution.
He might have lost his audio.
Yeah, you're on mute. But does anyone have any questions about this? It's sort of a platform. Oh, he's lost his audio. There's a lot of things in there that I really liked. You know, yeah, I do see a lot of like synergy between this and the little fish. And I'm curious about like the type of platform, especially like a peer-to-peer platform, what that might look like. And if there's any examples of peer-to-peer platforms now, because I feel like I mean, do you guys know anything? What's an example of a peer-to-peer platform that's in use now? Like, it seems like we're all in the centralized. Zoom is centralized, you know, like all our social media is centralized.
Are we talking about something like Orbit, or where everybody hosts their own kind of thing?
Tegan, is that
with a U?
Orbit
Is an example.
Yeah. Or which one, Randall?
Urbit with a U.
Oh, Urbit.
That's right. Of course, those technologies are not comprehensive in terms of functionality. We're still paving the way to a place where people can run self-sovereign and peer-to-peer and also have reliability.
Right. And it seems like it's requiring like a DAO governance to sort of like, otherwise just some, you know, there needs to be some central entity to keep the trains running on time. Is that sort of the right sort of zone? Like why that hasn't happened, like that reliability piece?
For me, it's kind of a process. You know, you've got to in this space, it's hard to do all that we have to do, and we may need some centralized solutions in the short term with a roadmap to full decentralization when we build that part of the infrastructure. Being sufficiently organized to build that part of the infrastructure is kind of the deadlock.
Yeah, that's interesting. Tegan, you back with us? No. Oh man. Okay.
Yeah, distributed systems are tough, especially when it comes to implementation. It's not an easy problem. You can't just wave it off either. You have to, and network reliability is paramount and making sure that your network is always reliable. Like you said earlier, Shakan, with when the buttons don't work, all it takes is one trust to be broken, and then the entire causal chain of events, both to the user and to the server. Yeah, it's a real problem. It's not easy.
And your background, Robert, is sort of infrastructure. Is that right? And is the like? Go ahead.
I'm an Erlanger who respects the crap out of Haskell, and okay. I'm approaching Cardano just as with that knowledge and understanding. It's to expect when I turn to the code, I'm going to find some compile time behemoth that's going to do everything mathematically right on point, and I'm easing my way in from an eager evaluation to a lazy evaluation kind of mindset here, hoping that see what's happening in the community.
Okay, yeah. I like it. Yeah, I'm curious if the decentralized structure of the SBOs and all of that code is something that's transferable, like in the other direction to come out of that, and they use it for other things, that structure. If I get that right. That's funny. Go.
To Tegan or to me?
Oh no, I was just Randall made a joke in the chat. That was slightly inappropriate, possibly. That's which is the perfect. Which
Oh
is
yeah. I am Haskell curious. You caught me. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I gotta be quiet. Don't tell anybody that I'm doing a compile time language here. Yeah, isn't here. I shut my camera off. Yeah.
I like it. I like it. All right. Okay, we are. Oh well, we're getting into sort of end times. We've heard from two projects. Tegan, have you sort of sorted stuff out? He's still on mute.
I stopped speaking, and then all of a sudden I couldn't hear anybody or anything, and I was like, "Oh no, did they even hear me? Was I just blabbering to nobody?" But did you guys catch everything?
I think we did. Yeah. So does anyone have like after our little discussion, does anyone have a question specifically to Tegan? Oh, do you have a link? Did you put something in the chat?
Yeah, I did. I can send it back in there though.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we're really new to Project Catalyst. We had heard about it a while ago at the summit because Cardano does their summit here in Laramie, where I live. And so we helped out, and we'd heard about it then, but we just didn't have anything worthwhile to put in there. So we looked at being proposers, and we looked into it, but we hadn't really done anything with it yet. And then we came up with this idea, and we said, oh, well, why don't we go see what Project Catalyst thinks about it and see if we can get some input. So happy to be here. I'm glad to be a part of your guys' little room here, and I am so thankful for anybody that has taken a look at it or will take a look at it.
I will, for sure. Anyone else? George, Zuha, Vinay?
Yeah.
Oh, Nils. No?
No.
I'm happy to talk, but I didn't prepare anything. I'm just here on your behest, so somebody else, please go ahead and.
Well, and I will just take a small moment because Discord, Shakan, the Discord as a tool and bots, and how so Nils is building a bot called Hazelnet bot, and those, I think that the bot and the chat interface, wasn't there a guy that did like a chat interface? He was like a chat interface developer. There's so many great collaborations around. So I definitely feel like those tools, they may not look like the tools that we've got going on today. So yeah, I'm happy that you came, Nils. Thank you.
Is that
Were you talking about
Hazelnet.io?
Conversational UI? Social Design Academy?
Say that again?
Are you talking about Niels Keefe, Social Design Academy?
Well,
No,
yeah,
that's a different Niels.
Yeah, there are two Nils. Yeah, Social Design Academy, and it's funny because all the Nilses that I've met have been super cool. So I was just immediately like, oh well, they're all just running in a club. So that's cool. But yeah, I just think that the interface could be also different. That Star Trek episode where Scotty tries to talk into the mouse. And it's just the thing. But Zuha, I think I cut you off a little bit. You might have been gearing up to drop some knowledge.
Yeah, it's fine. I thought of sharing probably our project. Now in the NFT space, they call it chilling. I kind of hate to shill. I've been talking about it for quite some time, so I might not make it clear. I might miss some ideas, but I would really appreciate you asking questions. So I'm going to share my screen now.
Okay.
Just show you the website that we've been developing, but I really suck at Zoom. So, yeah.
Well, what I know about the project, this is the time for shilling, and you've got minutes to do it. But while you get ready, from what I know, it's a way for NGOs to and NGOs, vendors, and donors to NGOs to, not unlike Tegan's and Littlefish model, to sort of collaborate and know each other, so that and then even even to Jonathan's, like, to have reputation and sort of work in this decentralized structure, and that there's real benefit in it, and the benefits are transparency and trust, and effectiveness, so that that the vendors don't flake out, or if they do, then they're sort of washed out of the ecosystem, and that donors feel confident so that they can add more monetary value in, and that the centerpiece of this NGO can be to do what it does best and not have to manage so much, robot in the middle type of thing.
Thank you, Newman. Thank you so much. You kind of explained it in a really thorough way. I'm gonna begin with the story and the motive that brought us to think with the idea. I'm not only by myself, I'm with two other beautiful human beings, one a business developer and another a marketeer. Basically, we come from Lebanon, and as some of you might know, the country we suffered from a blast in our capital, and it really caused a lot of problems, a lot of displacement, death, like around 200 deaths, and maybe around 200K people losing their homes. And a lot of NGOs came out of nowhere. They took some funds, international funds, even though the funds were strictly going for private initiatives, not governmental initiatives, because our government is corrupt, as I don't know how to what extent, but it's really corrupt. And we've been on capital control in like 2 years, and inflation and all of that. So even with all the restrictions, there was no transparency. The funds were we didn't see any solid or tangible results coming out of them. So it was our main motive to build a platform that has, for every NGO, a pool, and every donor, whether an individual or an international NGO, a main funder, they donate, and the money is locked in the NGO's pool. And in order for them to actually spend this money, they need to provide proof for their expenditures, for their needs, for the different projects that they're implementing. So this is like a brief idea, but the ultimate goal is for us to become a DAO. And as Newman mentioned, in our phase 2, we're not only going to have donors and NGOs, we're going to have also the suppliers for the NGOs whenever they have certain beneficiaries that they need to provide certain goods, not monetary, not necessarily fiscal or liquidity, but actual, let's say, school supplies for children, maybe training sessions for women, for divorced women that need a job or that are not really educated. So different types of projects, how can they be implemented, and how can we monitor the human resource behind all of that. So in our phase 1, in order to monitor everything, we're going to have an auditor, an expert in NGOs and fundraising, so they can monitor and do like the machine learning process and the automations for the platform to actually know how to deal with transactions in an automated manner for the future. So we're able to go into our second phase, which is onboarding vendors. And our main goal is the people. And this is why we are in the DAO space, because our ultimate goal is to become a DAO. And in order to support that, and because the whole definition of a DAO is not yet clear, it's really a gray area in the whole blockchain sphere. And this is something one of you guys asked us about, how are we a DAO? And it brought to our attention that we don't know actually. So we're applying for funds mainly the platform is under dApps, but we're also applying for a research to do like a sample and work with local NGOs and understand how they operate in general and how they operate their funds and how they monitor them and what kind of proof do they provide. And also we're going to interview funders and we're going to understand how to mediate correctly and how to become eventually a DAO. So there's a research kind of fund, and then under DAO Love Cardano, and then the fund for the platform under dApps. So this is it. I don't know if I covered everything, and the time, sorry.
That's fine. That's fine. I think you did a great job of explaining it, and it certainly entice folks to come and look at it. And there are two proposals. One, I think, one in dApps that is for the platform itself, and then another one in DAOs Love Cardano for this research, which I think is a great way. Okay. So I am mindful of the time. It is about an hour. What I'd like to do now is shut off the recording, unless someone wants to put their name and project very quickly into the recording.
I think there is one more person that would like to talk about their proposal. George, are you presenting? Oh, there he is. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Arshad. Can you hear me?
Oh, hey, George. Yeah, we got you.
Connection today. So can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Thank you. I'll give a very short brief from our Conma team. So this is a project called Laughing DAO. So it's kind of a funny name. So laughing. So but Laughing DAO. So in general, when we look from a DAO perspective, we are seeing that organizations are purely focused on the governance or purely focused on the legal or from the finance or tax perspective. So each organization is looking at it at just one snapshot. And in general, it is like a global thing. It is transactions in a team. When you look within a team, the team members of nothing is restricted to one region or one country. So we are trying to build is how to bring all these pieces together. So we have multiple countries, multiple team members coming together in a coalition so that the legal constructs as well as the tax policies and the organization impact are understood as a total structure so that the impact is easier to translate for any team member onboarding. So it is a way to bring the framework, which is a little more easy to accept. And that's what we are working on. That's what we have proposed as idea in the idea scale. It's called Laughing DAO. And our goal is to bring, start with India, again, India and Dubai as another hub where it is a little more crypto friendly. India is a little more crypto sanctioned. So we see the taxation is around 50%, close to 50%. So we are trying to bridge these two countries so that is there a way for people to use the company and a framework so that some of the tax policies can be adjusted between countries, how they run it. And that is a framework or the thoughts we are in. And we'll be expanding to kind of reach out to teams in US or Europe or Africa so that it is a lot more comprehensive as we grow. Right now, our focus is in India and Dubai. So.
That's wonderful. Thanks, George. Yeah, the legal, is it? Oh, it is in the legal and financial implementations. I think there's a real reason why this is a challenge setting, because you can build all this stuff, and then if our regulations aren't matching, or you can set up things in your seed stage that like totally hoses you when you get it further up, and the research that one does that, it can be useful for everyone. So yeah, I think that's a great sort of focus for you and the Kanma gang. And thank you for bringing it to the attention and jumping in on this last bit in the meeting.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. Does anyone have questions about the law and legal frameworks? I know, for instance, Wyoming, he's not here, but Wyoming is one of those places that have like kind of legal standing, and and that they're each different. They're each, every jurisdiction, every country has a little bit different things. Some are supportive and some are not. Are you saying that India is a pretty relatively supportive place?
No, they are trying to start with a policy where every transaction has a 1% tax on it, so it's all tracked. And then on top of it, the crypto profits will be around 30%, and then additionally 18%. So they are saying close to 50% is the number, which makes a lot of Indians to move out of India to put their assets in other countries like Dubai or Singapore, which are a little more crypto friendly, and people are moving out of country in order to stay there in order to facilitate such organizations.
Where is it's like Switzerland, right? Is Switzerland the place?
Yeah, Switzerland is very friendly. We have
Portugal is also really friendly.
Portugal, Ecuador, and we see Nigeria. So a few countries in every continent is popping up. So how to bridge these countries and to come up with a coalition which will be a lot more meaningful, because none of the teams are in a single country. None of the teams are based in just by or restricted by a single country's regulations.
Right.
And we also want to be conscious of the AML aspect. We want to make sure that it is not used for money laundering or other purposes incorrectly. So we just want to make sure the policies are understood clearly as we work with global participants. The governance aspect is a little more critical. We want to understand that better.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, that's great. I'm glad that we got that one in, because it is. Yeah, go ahead, Harsha.
So there is one more that Min would like to present. So if we can quickly make some space for it.
We're saving the best for last. The best for last.
I don't know about the best, but definitely something. Thank you guys so much for giving me the opportunity. Newman, thank you. Thank you for your support. I shared the proposal for pool voting and identity for DAOs. Essentially what we're doing is we're building pool voting and advanced governance systems beyond one coin, one token, one vote, or even one wallet, one vote, or even one reputation, point one vote, and combining all of this, including quadratic voting in like a DAO tooling. We're partnering with DAO, with clear contracts, and building a Cardano DAO alliance. So any of you that are actively building DAO tooling, our first meeting is going to be first week of August, because Nabria is launching at the end of this month. We're super excited to be doing this and to be able to be one of the first to offer this solution, the plural voting with Sybil attack resistance built on reputation, proof of reputation, proof of identity, the Sybil resistant probabilistic plural voting with governance C, as well as other systems to be really the first one to offer something like this on Cardano, which is the blockchain of governance, so that any community who would like to just move away from one coin, one vote, and use more advanced governance systems can do that. So thank you. That's my quick pitch. Thanks for your support.
That was quick, man. That was quick. Yeah, this. I mean, that's another one. It's another sort of fundamental part that makes a DAO a DAO, and so if we can move it into some innovative thing that gets us away from what we know is bad, and then also away from sort of what we're seeing is bad, the Sybil attacks and sort of the identity And I see how they both go together. Governance and identity go together. So I hope that everybody can take a look at that one, and that it gets funded and that we get to see it in action soon. Does anyone have any questions specifically for that one? Yeah.
You said you had a meeting in the first week of August. How do you join that?
First week of August, all you need to do, Chaka, is just send me your email. I'll invite you. It may be on Google Meet or Twitter Spaces. ADAO's part of it. We're part of Killer Contracts, part of it, and then we're welcome other DAO, builders on Cardano, right? Trip Drops wants to join as well, so just join.
I just sent you
awesome.
my email.
I got you.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice. The collaboration is happening.
Yeah, exactly.
Big love. You guys came. This is the love movement. I really do appreciate you all. I'm gonna shut off the recording. Well, wait a minute. I do want to just share some appreciation. This is like a fundamental thing that we're picking up from the C4C. We like to close out with just sharing some appreciation. And so I'd like to start by saying all the people that had the courage to get up and present, which I think was pretty much everybody here. Yeah, I really appreciate you. Like your insight and experience makes a difference to not just even just for one person. It really does matter to me personally. So I thank you for all your efforts. Anyone else got some appreciation?
Thank you, Newman, for hosting this, and for you're just great at hosting these meetings, man. I'm loving it, learning every single time.
Thanks, man. Thanks. All right. Mario, thank you.
Yeah.
Definitely second that. Very smooth. Keeping
Newman,
everybody accountable with the timers.
I got it.
It may feel like you're bullying people, but that's really for the benefit of everybody, right?
That's right. That's right.
15 minutes of the same person babbling about something. You're like, okay, I have understood it. It's okay. Let me read through your proposal. I'll be faster.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Vinay is good. Okay, Jonathan. All right. So I'm going to shut off the recording.